folks, let's go ahead and solve this exponential equation. And I say exponential because the variable I'm solving for is w, and w is up in the exponent. And just to give you kind of a backwards way to do it, you could plug each of these values in for w and see which value actually works, right? Like if I plug in 0.478 is 7 times 5 to the 2 times 0.478 plus 1 equal to 52. Excuse me, 252. And let me just show you what I mean by that. If I wasn't sure what I could do, let me clear this out. I could take 0.478. I'm going to store it into my calculator. If I did 7 times 5 to the 2x plus 1, that is not equal to 252, so A is not going to be my answer. All right, and you can go through these and find the answer, but I also just want to do it the forward way so that you could see how to do this if this had been a free response question. So if my variable is up in an exponent, what I want to do is isolate this exponential term. So I'm going to start by dividing both sides by 7. So I'm going to divide this side by 7, this side by 7, so those 7's cancel out. So my next step would be 5 to the 2w plus 1 is equal to 252 over 7. And because my variable is up in an exponent, I need to log both sides. Now you can use common log or natural log, totally up to you. I'm just going to use natural log. So I'm going to log the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. Okay, so let's go ahead and write that out. When I log both sides, and I'll make it look like this, 5 to the 2w plus 1 equaling ln of 252 over 7. One of our our logarithmic properties says if you log a power, you can bring the exponent down in front. Now, since this power here, or this exponent, is a binomial, I'm going to protect it with parentheses. All right, so I'm going to have 2w plus 1 times whatever the ln of 5 is, being equal to the ln of 252 over 7. And again, I could be writing log here. Common log, natural log, it's going to get you the same answer. But I still want to solve for w. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to divide both sides now by ln 5. I want to get that product out of the way. So if I divide both sides by ln 5, keeping in mind ln 5 is just a number. I mean, this looks ugly, but I could crunch it on my calculator. Right? I'll cancel that out. So now I'm looking at 2w plus 1 equaling ln of 252 over 7 in ratio to ln 5. And if this gets to be too much for you, I'm going to leave it because I'm a bit of a math nerd. But if it gets to be too much, you can plug this in, right? You can do ln 252 over 7 divided by ln 5. And this might be a little less scary to look at. You might be more comfortable, just as a side note, maybe you want to write it as 2w plus 1 equals 2.227, right? That doesn't seem to me as intimidating as this. But again, I like logs and math and all of that, so I'm going to keep it this way. But let's just talk. If this had been the way you're going, right, totally valid, all right, I would subtract 1 from both sides and divide by 2. I'm going to do the exact same thing here. It's just going to look a lot worse because I'm going to leave these as is. So the next thing I would do here would be to subtract 1 from both sides, right? So then I will get that 2w is equal to ln of 252 over 7 divided by ln 5 minus 1, right? Then I need to divide both sides by 2. And again, it'd be much simpler, or I think mathematically, it looks a lot nicer just to kind of subtract 1 from both sides here and say 2w is 1.227 and then divide by 2, right? And solve for w. That would be totally fine. And then you could find out what the answer is. I'm, of course, going to do it the long way. I'm going to divide by 2 here. So my end game exact answer is w would be equal to, hold on, let me do this. I got a 2 in the denominator. This is going to be ln 252 over 7 divided by ln 5 minus 1, and then all of that divided by 2. And so let me do it the quicker way, right? If I subtracted 1 from here and divided by 2, you'd be like, hey, my answer is 0.613, right? You're going to tell me w is 0.613. And then you're going to get to answer B. Okay, great. Now we're going to do it my way, just because I like this stuff. So I'm going to take ln of 252, right, divided by 7. I'm going to divide that by ln 5, and then I'm going to subtract 1. And And then I'm going to divide all of that by 2. And lo and behold, oops, this is a little off to the side here, my bad. I still get 0.613. So either way, I'm getting to B as my answer. And if this version is more clear for you, by all means do it. Totally legit, totally great to get to an answer. If you like looking at exact values, like I do, this is the exact value, this is the decimal approximation. But ultimately, the answers in A through D are a decimal approximation. So go with the decimal approximation, whichever way gets you there best. All right, thanks so much. Bye.